let's talk about the next question, that is fifth question. Which property of DNA double helix led Watson and Crick to hypothesize a semi-conservative mode of DNA replication? Explain. So to answer this question, we know that Watson and Crick were the two scientists who observed that the two strands of DNA are present in anti-parallel direction and have opposite polarity. They were the two scientists who observed the anti-parallel arrangement of two strands of DNA. Also, they observed that they are present, the two strands of DNA are present in the anti-parallel arrangement and have opposite polarity. That means the 5' phosphate of one strand of DNA always faces the third hydroxyl group of other strand of DNA. Also, 5' phosphates of both the strands are present in opposite direction or opposite position. Now, this anti-parallel arrangement of two strands of DNA allows hydrogen bonding between amine and carbonyl group of the complementary base pairs. This led them to hypothesize the semi-conservative mode of replication, wherein the two strands of DNA first separates from each other, followed by copying of the two strands, both the strands of DNA, to form two molecules of DNA. Each molecule of DNA will contain one parental strand and one newly synthesized strand. So this is the answer, and we have to write the solution, which will start like this, that Watson and Crick were the two scientists who observed that the two strands of DNA are anti-parallel to each other and have opposite polarity That means the 5' phosphate of one strand faces the third hydroxyl group of other strand and the phosphates and the 5' phosphates of both strands are present in opposite position. This thing led these scientists to hypothesize the semi-conservative nature of or mode of DNA replication. Wherein what happens in DNA replication and why we call the DNA as semi-conservative in nature, because in the DNA replication the two strands of DNA first separates from each other, followed by copying of both template strands of DNA, to form two molecules of DNA. Each molecule of DNA will have one parental strand and one newly synthesized strand. This is why we call the DNA as semi-conservative in nature, because during the DNA replication, the two strands of DNA separates from each other, then they copy both the template strands to form two molecules of DNA. Each DNA molecule then will consist of one parental strand and the one newly synthesized strand. This thing led the scientists such as Watson and Crick to hypothesize the semi-conservative nature or mode of DNA replication. So this is the complete solution of question number 5.